they know it. But he said, if there's ever a time in this eighth inning we really got to win this game, we could sure use playing one of the Journey songs and put you on the jumbotron and get you to get everybody sing along, because this place looks like a morgue, and it did, because we were losing one of the games. I can't remember. I believe it might have been one of the games with San Diego, or it could have been one of the first games with Philly. I can't remember right now. But anyway, so I believe the first one we did was Lights. I said, if you really want to, and you feel now's, I guess, the time to do it, because I want to go all the way with this for the team too. And if you think it'll help, if you really feel it'll help, then just do what you got to do. So I don't look at myself. I don't watch myself do anything. I just want to do it and just enjoy this side of a looking glass, so to speak. So I did not look at the jumbotron, I swear. Mm-hmm. And they played the song, so I jumped up and just said, "Oh my God, I love this song!" I just sit in the regular, just right there in that little regular seats with a little ledge there, and the people turn around, "Who the hell's that?" And I said, "Gosh, I love that guy's voice. Who is this?" And they all turn around and go, "Who the hell is that back there?" So then all of a sudden I just started, screaming along with the song and waving my hands, and they started joining in, and it sort of filled the stadium slowly around the sides. I could see people paying attention, and the whole place. It took just about, I'd say, a third of the song, and then the whole stadium, 45,000 people, were singing and waving their arms, and it was a personal flashback to the old days of being in the band, to be honest with you.
Well, the video is actually on YouTube. There's actually two of them. There's one of you singing along with Lights and the stadium joining in. And again, if you're just tuning in this morning, we're talking to Steve Perry. Yes, that's Steve Perry. He sang in Journey, but he's obviously had solo records and success there as well. But so Steve is in the stadium, the Giants are playing, and he's singing along to Lights. And then you did Don't Stop Believing, which, by the way, arguably right now is the most popular sports song in the world, and we'll touch on that in a second. But you did the video where you're singing, and again, you don't look like you're trying to do anything. It looks very natural, but that video starts getting traded all over YouTube, and then you're doing Don't Stop Believing, and that gets traded all over YouTube. Tell me about Don't Stop Believing and what that song has become, because obviously when you wrote the song, I imagine you felt something, because the song is obviously such a great song and means a lot to so many people. But did you have any idea that you'd be sitting here in 2010 going into 2011, just around Christmas, and we'd be talking, or anybody would be talking about what has happened with that song? And I know that the Glee television show has helped resurrect it, but, the placement in The Sopranos, at the end of The Sopranos, tell me about that, because that's where I think the song really took on. Again, obviously a massively popular song before that, but now it's almost become mythical in a way for people, and really makes people feel, I guess, what you wanted them to feel when you wrote it.
Well, it's funny. Your first question is no, I did not know, nor did I think any of the musicians who co-wrote the song, all of us together, that this would happen. Because in my opinion, every one of the songs that were recorded back then were all the same. They all got the same amount of tension. They all got the same amount of concern for the arrangement, for the melodies, for the lyrics, for the tracks having a great feel, because everything you're hearing on those tracks, that comes from an era where you just performed and the tape just captured what you performed. There was no way to tune, fix, or repair as computers can do now. So what you're hearing was literally back in the day, where you had to be concerned about every overdub and every vocal and every guitar solo and every drum part. So
it was all real.
It was all real.
Yeah.
And so my point is that every one of the songs got the same concern, and this one, Don't Stop Believing, was no different than the rest of them. And then time moves forward, and where it really started the attention or resurrection of that song was a friend of mine, Patty Jenkins, did this movie, and it was called Monster with Charlize Theron, and it started where she wanted to write the script, and she put this song, Don't Stop Believing, in the skating rink scene, and she had tested it, I guess. I found this out later. She had tested it, and they really thought that that's where the movie started to come alive, where this relationship starts to build between these people in this skating rink. And so she wanted to use the song, and she was told by her music people she'll never get the song. But the long story short is she got the song because it was independent movie, and that started the interest for that song, and it grew to Orange County, the Real OC. It grew to, which ended up other places, and ended up eventually to Sopranos, and then somewhere between or before it ended up with the White Sox in Chicago, because they used it as a rally song in the clubhouse. They told me that's what A.J. Brzezinski told me, that they were using it, and then I went to watch them do the World Series in '05, and it's continued, to become a song that people use as a rally song, because it really doesn't belong to any one particular team. It's just, I guess it's about not giving up,
And the Dodgers use it, though. How do you feel about that, being a Giants fan?
I used to get up at the bottom of the seventh inning and leave because they'd use it as an eighth inning or 8.5 inning rally song, and I'd be in the parking lot turning the key on my car, hearing the song.
So, what did you think of the Sopranos' use of "Don't Stop Believin'"?
Well, it was, first of all, it was a brilliant use. I knew how that ended before it ended, because I, as one of the songwriters, we all have rights to approve the use of these. That means John and Neil also. And they had already approved it, but I was kind of being a bit of a sticker, because I wanted to know if anybody was going to be whacked, just messed up.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't want to see that too much. That'd be more like a Scorsese thing, And I thought, well, I don't know, let me think about it, and just, send me a clip or tell me what happens. Well, they wouldn't tell me, because it was the end of the final season of the whole legacy of the show. So what happened was, eventually, I just must admit to you that I said I will not approve my portion of the songwriting for that song to be used unless you at least give me a clue how it is or isn't used. Meaning, is somebody going to be whacked, or what's going on? So they said, Thursday night, I get a phone call from my publisher. She says, well, David finally phoned it in and told this is what happens, and this is what happens, and this is what happens. And I went, okay, well, if that's the case, then say yes. So literally Thursday night, and it aired that Sunday, they had the right to use it. And I'm sure it was edited. I'm sure it was finished. But I had to hold out, because I just wanted to know how it's used, So when I finally saw it Sunday night, I stood up. When they went to black, they didn't tell me that. They didn't tell me that it just goes, don't stop, and cuts to black. And, gee whiz, the whole country thought that their cable went out. And it was just brilliant, And I already have a feeling, if I was to talk to him, I know how I'd start a film if I was going to start a film. But anyway, that's another story.
Let's talk real quickly. Thank you very much again for being on. We'll wrap up right now. What are you up to now? Are you got any music going? What's Steve Perry doing now as far as recorded music? Because obviously the interest level in your career, I mean, look, obviously it's been very high for years, but when you see you at the World Series singing along, with the use of these songs, there's a lot of people that miss that voice. Are we going to get to hear it on some new music anytime soon?
Well, I've been writing music for about the last year and a half with the intention of going in the studio. I've yet to do it because I got some other stuff going on, but I'm going to jump in there and just see what I can find, I have a very interesting, for lack of a better description, I guess I just have to be honest about it and tell you I have a love-hate relationship with music in my voice, and that's just be perfectly honest with you, because it's always something that's challenging me. One moment I'll love something, next moment I'm just not sure if I like it at all, and so that makes it very difficult for me to navigate the process of recording and writing and singing, but it's always been that way. So from that has come anything that you're talking about today that people still love, but I think it's the process within myself that makes me dig deep and challenge myself, and it's a tough process. But so some of my reluctance to jump into it is exactly jumping into that process,
Mm-hmm. Well,
but I'm doing it, and I am enjoying. There have been some great moments to where I've had some great writing experiences, and so I have realized that there's a big part of me that's been missing. Which is my musical side. I had to totally let it go, Joey. There's been so much stuff that's happened over the years with the breakup of Journey and the course that they've taken and me just stepping out and just letting them run wherever they want to go, and I've just stayed in the wings behind the curtain, you
Yep.
know, and I just have done nothing. And my record shows, I very seldom come out, except for games now and then.
Yeah.
And but the truth is that I realized by writing the last year and a half that there's a side of me when things are joyful and you're writing music and I get that feeling that I can see the landscape of where this potentially musically can go. I just get a very emotional, excited hit about it. And then I catch myself going, wow, you know, why this resonates with me is something is none of my business. I think I need to just stay out of what it is or isn't, and I just need to do it. Because left to my own thinking, I will either sabotage it or have arguments with the quality of it. And I'm just being perfectly, I've never told anybody this before. On my mother's grave, I swear I've never said this to another interviewer. But it's just the truth. And I'm confronting those demons, and I'm having some wonderful moments doing so. And it's been an affirmation in my heart that music is a bigger part of me than I've been, I guess, pretending it's not for a long time.
Well, we appreciate the insight, Stephen. I want to thank you again for coming on this morning with me on the Fan 590. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a great 2011. Thank you again so much for joining us.
And